a wonderful person. And this "Oh Mary, Don't You Weep" is dedicated to in memory of your mother, right?
He's a friend. Rollo's a friend of mine. He wrote
Yeah.
it for my mom.
And so I think that's pretty neat.
Well,
Okay.
he knew my name was Martha, but when he chose the text, he called me one day and says, "Oh, I have it. He goes, "Have you ever heard take 6 do Mary,
Oh, Mary,
Don't You
Don't You
Weep?"
Weep.
And I said, "Oh yeah." And it turns out that my sister's name is Mary, not because of the biblical sisters or anything. But that was my sister was so thrilled she thought that he wrote it for her. So
Yeah.
that was great. Okay, we ready, guys? And we have several that sang this with him when he was here. He came to our premiere of this piece, and we have several that were with him, but we decided this would be a fun piece to show you guys this summer. So some of them are doing it for the first time. Yeah.
Can you tell me about the three-part
The three-part thing.
like when it goes
Oh,
into
yeah.
the three parts? And the three parts about
So you just stack them
the
up.
other side and one here.
Oh, they were, he was sharing with us, if everybody will look at page 9, square 45. This little section was a tribute to the Trinity because of the modulation that he does there. He was telling, it was fun for them to get to talk with the composer to find out what was behind his thinking in that. So thank you for bringing that up.
Before you start, I need to remind our participants that in the back, you have this observation and reflection sheet. I don't know if you found that, but there's one of these for each of the groups. So sometime between, I think it's a good place for you to write down stuff that you want to remember to take back to your own school, or stuff that you don't want to take back to your own school. But use one of these for each of the groups. So this would be one, and then we're going to discuss these this afternoon.
Some of you have what looks like a photocopy, and it's not an illegal photocopy. That was the manuscript. He told me to keep those, so I just didn't want you to think.
Thank you for bringing them. And all these need to be turned back in. Yeah.
Tell Martha not to
participants have anything you would like to discuss? Yeah.
It sounds beautiful and very rhythmically, but I would like to see more of the dynamics because I think sometimes the sound is still the same. There's a mezzo piano in the first part, and so mezzo forte, so maybe a little more contrast. It would be better for the piece. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to ask this, when you do a piece that's rhythmically, and the kids are bopping, but they really, you can see they're hanging on, I would like to have them break out and do some movement, and I don't know if that's okay, or,
Of course it's okay.
I mean, in the sense of, because like him especially, he was like hanging on, like, and I just had the feeling he wanted to explode and like express himself, and why not go there?
I was actually going to say that I wanted to give a star, very elementary talk, but I was going to star to the guy, the second kid on the front row, because I thought he was letting loose a little, respectfully. I mean, I know we all know the choir, PS22, and how they jam, and I always tell my kids to respectfully move and appreciate the music. I like that, and I don't know how
Okay,
you...
how many times have you heard that?
to move around. I know that they may not feel comfortable. I also, struggle with that. How much do we encourage, and then how do we keep it also at a good, respectful performance level for an
Well,
audience?
they're really holding back today.
They are.
And they're holding back. Their sound is so small today, and I'm not sure if they're just not sure where they are today or what. But they are holding back a little bit today. I wish you would cut loose. Maybe if you guys turn your back for a minute, you could probably hear the
Now-
difference. I'm
Ms.
not sure
Brown, have you had them do any movement on this piece? Did
Oh
he?
yes, we rock and roll. When,
Yeah.
we just honestly we pulled this back out a few weeks
Right.
ago to get we've been practicing once a week in the summer, which some of them have been there and not. So they're not as comfortable. Some of them haven't ever sung it until this summer, and
Right.
so they're not quite as comfortable with it. And this was kind of our first performance for some of them.
Well, let me just go with the dynamics part if I can jump in here, because I think, and again, I love middle school because they get it. If we put it in terms that you understand, you're going to get it, and then you can be the leaders for those that maybe forget it. You know what I mean? Like there's something she says, and if you specifically know what we're talking about, then if somebody forgets, you can be the leader and say, hey, we're supposed to be quiet here. We're supposed to be really quiet here. Or we're supposed to crescendo that, whatever. Okay, so what I think is sometimes I just like to throw out all of the, dynamics between forte and piano and just focus on those. Or, say, okay, what do we start out? What's the dynamic we start this piece out? Mezzo forte, so pretty loud, right? Not kind of loud, not kind of soft, but pretty loud. But loud within reason. So, then we don't do beat. Okay, we can do it, but then what's the difference between that and when we get to the top of page 5? What do we do there? Mezzo piano. Okay, to me there's not enough difference between mezzo forte and mezzo piano in the middle school mind. Okay, but there is a difference between loud and soft. So I think what your name is? Mario. I think what Mario's saying is when we do the mezzo piano, it's got to be really soft for us to know that there was a dynamic change, okay? So stand up, please, and
Position.
and then go ahead and start them again, and let's try to get when they get to that top of page 5, do what she's told you 1,000 times, and make it softer. And you know what about diction? What happens with diction? The softer you are. The softer you sing, the more diction you have to have, right? So, something's morning, bright and fair, something's morning, bright and whatever it is. Got it? Got the idea? You got to really, especially those S's and T's, have to be much more, okay? So, sing it up.
Can you put your music down?
Yeah, that'd be better. Now, I got another idea on that than what Deborah was saying. Put your music down. Now, let's do this.
Oh, can we close the piano? Tim?
Okay. Don't take it personally, Tim. All right.
Off the piano. people who work with our choir, and I'll pick on you, Tim. They're all divas, even, you know, they all play very loud. We always have to.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this, and I don't know what movement you've done before, but I'm going to give you some prescribed movement so that you feel comfortable doing it. And it also has you sing loud, okay? But then, when we get to that soft part, you're going to stop moving, okay? So right at the beginning, we're going to do this. Okay, stand tall, hands aside, and you're just going to do subtle things. You're just going to go, bump, bump, ba-da-ba-dum, right, touch, da-da, and get the heads up. Look back here, okay? Don't look at the floor, because if you look at the floor, it looks like you don't know what you're doing. Plus, you exclude everybody. If you look back here, you include everybody. Got it? Let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, with a little attitude. Good. Look out. Like you like this. Like you're having fun. Okay, here we go. All right, good. Now we're going to start. 1, 2, ready, and. We started one more time. 1, 2. We need a green light up here. We go. 2, ready, go, and. Smile. Look like. Here we go. And.
Mary, don't you weep.
Right, touch, left, touch, right, touch. Concept, isn't it? There you go. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Now you're going to stop and be soft. Yeah, and I'd like it to even be softer than that. And so that one of these moments, got the idea? Got the idea?
But make him read your lips.
Yeah. Aren't they great? I just love this age. I mean, they're like, oh, baby, we're doing it now. Love it. Here we go. So you know what to do now, right? So let's have you conduct them. Me get out of the way, and let's see if we can, when we get, oh, you know, the other thing about gospel music, and Laurel and I have actually discussed this, is I've got another little book I called Jazz Pop Styles, and one of them is gospel style. So what defines gospel style? Gospel style is not Vivaldi. So it's not, oh, Mary, don't you weep, right? And it's not jazz. It's not, oh, Mary, don't you weep. Okay? It's sforzando piano crescendos. Are you familiar with those terms? Like sforzando, where you get real soft immediately. Piano crescendos on every note with a lot of vibrato. So it's like this. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Got the idea? Oh, Mary, don't you weep. That's gospel. Oh, Mary, don't you weep is not gospel. You weren't doing that. But if you accent, instead of trying to sing loud, 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 and this is instrumental stuff all over the place. They get an accent. What do they think an accent is? Loud. An accent is not loud. An accent means the onset of the pitch is loud and immediately gets to the dynamic. Right? It's not da, 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 right? But it's da, 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 da. Same thing here. Okay, so let's try it, shall we? And you're going to, oh, Mary, don't you weep. Got the idea with the accent. Okay. With the movement and really make it softer. And look like you're having fun, would you? Yeah. This guy's great. I love this. He's doing good.
Remember his face? Yeah. Tim, let's start right on it.
Mary, don't you weep. Tell what the night tomorrow. Mary, don't you weep. Tell what the night tomorrow.
Great. Keep it coming.
Arrows on me, drowned in the Red Sea. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Martha, don't you mourn. These mornings bright and fair, take my wings and clear the air. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn.
Okay. Now. Okay. So what happens there? Where are you supposed to be back loud? Right after that, it, oh, no. Got it? So what happened? It was better. Wasn't it better? Yeah. But could it have been even better What's the purpose of rehearsal? To make it a little better? Could we even make it a little better than that? Here's what I think. You kind of forgot that you were soft after a little while. So then when you were supposed to be loud, you were almost loud again. So hold the thing back, all the way back until what? The crescendo happens on mourn. Give me the pitch on mourn. Are they singing parts there? Or are they kind of mourn?
Are you on?
That one. Okay? So here's the way you think about mourn. I want you to just take the soprano, play me the soprano part. And then the next note. Okay? I want you to sing for me like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
One more time. One was too loud, right? For soft. It ought to get successively louder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right, but you didn't get loud enough. Come on. I like ended up in mezzo chord. I want it to end up loud. 2, ready, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good. Now, I want you to go. Mourn. Got it? Ready, go. So that's where you're going to when you do the soft part. Start at the soft part. Because you started really soft, but then you got a little bit. Just make us listen to you. Okay? We're not going anywhere.
So this morning started will
Softer on the piano.
take my wings and clear the air. Oh, Mary, don't you weep.
More diction.
Tell Martha not to mourn. Oh, Mary, don't you weep.
That's it.
Tell Martha not to mourn. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn. Pharaoh's army drowned in the Red Sea. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Martha, don't you mourn.
I love it. I love
They're
it.
waking up a little bit.
I love to watch. Don't you just love to watch them? I mean, this one here and this one here, I can just show you what it did. Each one, because each one of you are individuals, right? And we should be able to take a little video of each one of you and have your personality come out. That's what I love about it. And that's, you only can do that when you're doing the right things, right? Because until you're doing the right things, you're kind of like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But you know it now, right? Any other comments? Yes.
I noticed, I agree with everybody else, by the way, that you guys sound great. I noticed when you sang the first song that a lot of mouths were just barely opening in, and this one I'm starting to see each time more mouths opening wider, and the sound as you do that is improving, right? At the beginning, you guys were sometimes getting overpowered by the piano, and we've reduced the volume of the piano, but really, you guys have gotten louder, and the sound quality, the tone has gotten nicer. I'd like to hear it once with everybody with their mouths really opening and hear what that sounds like.
I'd like to say two little things. Do you remember what you thought when you were given the part? Okay, we're going to sing "Oh Mary, Won't You Weep." What did you think the song was going to be like? Joyful. Okay. Everybody thought that? All right, now that's amazing because when I don't know the song, and when I saw the title, I thought, oh, there's going to be a sad song. It's about Mary, it says weep, and so, and the composer does a great thing. He surprises us. Because when you started singing, when the piano started, that's not what I was expecting. And when you start singing, you start with the ho, and wow, that's a surprise. And for me, the surprise of the song is contained in that very first ho. Because we expect that when we first hear that song, we expect everything but a ho, man, won't you be there? So it's just a little thing. Always think about the audience, and if they don't know the song, and if you know there's a surprise in the song, just do it right, do it right. And if I can say just a little thing, you know about the 1, 2, 3? Okay, it's a composer's thing. When you want to compose your music, you write a sentence one time. You write a sentence a second time, but you change something in it. And those two are not really important. The third one is the big one. The example I always give is the Fifth Symphony, Beethoven. Dun 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 dun. You heard that before? Dun 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 dun. That's the first thing. Dun 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 dun. The second thing, it's exactly the same, but it's just different notes. And the third thing is important because it leads to something else. Dun 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 dun. And he was great because he took that as a 1, and he repeats it. Dun 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 dun. That's a 2. And the 3 is important because it leads to something else. Dun 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 dun. It's a bit the same. You have like, oh, Mary, want you it, and then blah, 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 I don't know the lyrics. You have it a second time, and the composer uses the same notes, but he extends it a little bit. And the third time is the important one, because it leads to that oh, but the long oh. And it's something used in like the structure of the piece. Usually it's like that. We go up, 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 up to a climax, and there will be something down. And maybe like as a general thing, you can think about that too. Maybe you can start with slow movement and then move faster when it's a climax, or you can follow the crescendo. Sorry, I talk too much. I really
Sounds like what he
Keep talking, they love the French accent. That's why I tell people, when you're saying French, it's all do-do-do-do-do-do, right? And when it's German, it's casual.
I also like,
You know, yeah, go ahead.
I also like to congratulate this fella here because one moment ago, a couple of teachers told you that you wanted to move, but you didn't find the moment. And I think your teacher told you how many times they have told you that. And I think I want to congratulate you because you let yourself go and you made it sound really good. And in general, everyone, but you were mentioned.
And perhaps the lesson here for all of us, and I'm working on this, you know, we're all on a continuum. But the more I can put everything in physical terms that they understand, it's like saying, I want you to sing it exciting. Okay? All of you have a different concept of what exciting is. You know, and we see it when you're doing it. You know, for some people, exciting this. And other people, it's this. Okay? So we kind of need to tell you physically what to do. And the other thing that I love about Laurel, and I love music like this, that really has its own little guidelines built in it. Okay, so let's think about the music this way. One more time. Okay, you're going to sing it at the beginning loud, right? And then you've got a crescendo after that. See, we didn't talk about this. See, oh Mary, don't you weep. That's the big one. What's nice about that? Because right after that is where you go. How do we know something's soft? By what preceded it. How do we know something's loud? By what preceded it, right? So if you go, oh Mary, Martha, don't you mourn. Okay? And it does that every time. That's what I call really smart writing, because he doesn't write one thing one way, and then the second verse another way, and the third verse another way, and oh my God, are we on the second verse or the third verse, right? And then you just take it to the end, and it all is exactly the same. Okay? So let's try that, and everything except the soft parts. Okay, so when you get to, wait a minute, I'm old. Yeah, so let's do it that way. Mama, at the morn, oh Mary, don't you weep. We're going to start the movement there, right? And then keep it going. Oh Mary, don't you weep, the morn. And then stop when you're soft. Got it? You got it? You with me? Some of you look a little glazed there. Okay, you got it? Understand? Okay. All right, here we go. One more time. Miss Brown.
Oh, I thought you were going to do
No. It's your group. We're just.
I didn't know I was going to be conducting today. I thought I was going to watch you conduct.
Well, I can do that, but you want me to do that? No, you do it. You do it. I want to start at the beginning so that we see that they get those dynamic contrasts of where the movement starts and where not. Okay? Stand nice and tall. Get your right foot ready to go right so that you get right together. The other thing I always do, I always start to the right. Why? Because then everybody can remember. Okay? It's not right this time, left the next time. When in doubt, you just go right. And we're going to do right touch until you do that. Mother, don't you born big and loud, and then stop the movement. And I'll tell you my thing. Y'all seen movement that's very confusing? I'd rather it be simple and perfect rather than, you know, and the audience is going, I wonder which one of them is right. So, here we go. Yeah, right here. Now, you start right when he starts. Catch. Let me be in your choir. Here we go. One more time. Go ahead. Do him.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying now.
Hands to the side with attitude.
Oh, baby, don't you weep.
How loud can you make that
Tell
oh?
Martha not to mourn.
Nice vowels. Don't make it ugly.
Don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn. Pharaoh's army
This is the big
in
one.
the Red Sea. Oh, baby, don't you weep.
Good job.
Don't you mourn.
Keep it coming. Now.
Sunny's mornings bright and fair. Take my wings and clear the air. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn. Pharaoh's army.
Remember C, the big percent. There you go.
Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Martha, don't you
I was doing that.
Yeah, when I get to heaven. You can go, when I get to heaven. Hey, let me try one other thing, too. That's another sign of excitement. Because some of them do it. You see on their faces when some of them are going, when I get to heaven, right? When I get to heaven. Is more excited than, when I get to heaven. Right? So let's kind of do that as if I didn't tell you to do it. You just, right before you do when I get to heaven, you're just going to kind of have the head ready to go forward. You're going to go, when I get to heaven. Now do that with me. 1, 2, go. Oh, isn't that nice? One more time, you ready? See, it makes you look like you know what you're doing. Because when we don't know what we're doing, we look like it. Okay? And that's kind of a scary look. It's kind of like, when I get to heaven. Right? But just have that ready. And all of you are just going to put your face out there right on the word when. Ready? And? Good. Now, take it from before that so they know what they're doing. Yeah, just the old Mary, don't you weep before that. Yeah. This is after C. Oh, Mary. Got the idea?
Start on C, actually.
Yeah. Start on C.
Page 8, second letter. Oh, you've got the,
E flat, E flat, G.
41. What major you where I am?
No, one measure before 41.
Because the one measure before,
On
on C.
C.
On C.
That's it. Bring it up.
Oh, Mary, don't you
Keep it coming.
Martha, don't you mourn. When I get to heaven, come and put on my shoes. Run that glory and tell the news. Oh, Mary, don't you weep. Tell Martha not to mourn.
Move.
Mary, don't you
Yeah. probably been asked to change many times, but you just were reminded of it. Yes, sir?
To get into the song, put movements to it.
Yeah?
Make it.
Put a little movement, so they put a little of their personality into it, yes?
Crescendo and decrescendo.
Crescendo and decrescendo, anything else?
3 parts, like in the big one.
Tell me a little more specifically. Oh. Oh, okay, yeah, very good. Yes, sir.
Show the music with the face, tell the story.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else? What was your name? What's your name?
Grace.
Grace. You just look like a Grace. Very nice. But what did Grace talk about? She talked about the crescendos and decrescendos. What else? Yeah.
Watch your sound, like, do the sound that, like, goes with the music.
Give me that a little more specific.
Like, get into the music with by using your sound.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain. Be like, use your diction.
Uh-huh.
Make sure you're using your diction,
Especially when?
especially when you're talking.
Right, yeah.
It's like what you said, when at the title it looks like a sad song, but then you just surprise them with like the really
Right,
gooey.
right. I'm thinking a little more simple. Things have to be pretty simple for me. I'm thinking about the dynamics in a very simple way. Can anybody tell me what we talked about on that? I think we have the first responder. I'm gonna ask you back there to tell me about the vowels or whatever you said before. What did we talk about on the dynamics?
Loud and soft.
Loud and soft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you start out loud, and then you get to that soft part after you get the loud, make sure it's loud all the way, and then when you make it soft, it makes it soft, right? Good. Anything else? Let's go to the next piece.